Hello, people of the world. I don't know, man. I'm trying to put less less pressure on this because I just got. Oh, sorry. I just gotta I don't know. I just gotta think through some stuff. I said I'd be on break until October, and it's October now. So yeah, I'm just gonna talk and play some games, and hopefully it will be useful. Because there's a lot of stuff that I don't know what to do with, and streaming is nice because I can just kind of ramble, and there's no one there to stop me, pretty much. Okay, let's get this. Let's get the actual game streaming, and then I'll. The annoying thing about Visual Boy Advance is that if the window isn't active, it pretends it doesn't exist. It goes into fucking hibernation mode. I'm actually not even sure if the audio is okay. I'm assuming it's okay because the levels look fine on my end. But if people want me to you can just yell at me. I'm actually looking at chat and shit. But yeah, we'll wait a couple minutes. Do I sound tired? I am tired of life. I don't know. Not really life. I actually quite like living. Living is okay currently. But anyway. Do 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 do. What the fuck is this? I'll just at least start the game. Yeah. I feel just generally awkward. So I'm probably just gonna warm up a bit before before I actually start talking about the things that I actually want to talk about. I actually completely forget where I was in this game. Okay. Okay. Why did I? Oh yeah, I got a jolly huge power Azurill. Because I want a fucking badass Azumarill. I remember. Okay. Okay. But where was I? I remember it would tell you what you have to do. Okay, it says challenge your gym. Okay, and isn't that where I am right now? I'm in the right town for it, right? Let's see. Wow, I'm not. Okay. Now where is this place that I need to go? The hell? Wow, that's pretty far away. Okay. Because I remember I had to come down from a thing. Yeah, I already beat this gym. Okay, now I remember. So, let's see. I guess I don't even know where to start. Well, I have I guess just to recap, because I'm not, people follow me on different things, and I'm not really sure who I don't expect people to keep track with like all of the bullshit in my life. But basically, when I finished bullshit in Yuusha, thanks for watching that, by the way. But when I finished bullshit in Yuusha, I felt like a crappy doo-doo piece of shit. I did not like it. I thought that in general, I didn't do a very good job on it. I thought it took too long to make. I was skeptical that it would actually get any attention, that people would like care like a year later. What? But it turned out that all of that was sorta in my head, because people ended up liking it. People ended up liking it a lot. Oh right, I have XP share. Okay, I can just keep them in the party. I don't need to do this. Okay. Yeah, but anyway, it turned out it was like in my head, because people generally really liked it and they really appreciated it. And then I more or less got to thinking like, damn, like my self-perception is pretty fucked up. Are you serious, Confuser? I was thinking like, you know, I just spent like the past, like I started working on Bullshit Nation like in 2019. And the funny thing is, after I finished, the last thing I did was Souls of Roach book. Interesting. I forgot Derek's nature. I forgot if I wanted to make him physical or special or both. I guess I will just... Yeah, I mean, I have workup that does attack and special attack, so that keeps my options open. If you hear background noise, I'm sorry. This apartment is... Everything in this apartment is loud. The fucking street is loud, the AC is loud, the fridge is loud, the neighbors are loud. Right, so I can't like fully control that. But anyway, when I started Bullshit no Yuusha, it was after I had finished the Souls of Roach book, and I was like, I should probably take a break, because I just finished doing the Souls of Roach book. I didn't take a break. What I did instead is I started planning Bullshit no Yuusha. I mean, I wrote this down in there's a Patreon post. I should have probably linked that. But yeah, there's a Patreon post where I explain everything. But the bottom line is, from late 2019 up until when I finally released it, up until actually around the end of 2020, I like did not check my expectations on that project at all. Like it kept getting more and more complicated, and I kept having more and more things that I wanted to do. And the funny thing about it is that the more complicated I would make it, and like the more work I would put into Bullshit no Yuusha, like the worse it would actually get. There are no trainers? Fight me. What the fuck? Pussy. Okay, whatever. Yeah, it was... Where do I even go? What the hell? What? the more work I put into bullshit Yuusha, the worse it would get because I was giving myself like inhumane working conditions. And bullshit Yuusha only started to like actually take shape when I like set limitations on myself. And so anyway, since the day I decided after bullshit Yuusha to like take a break, I felt a lot better. Don't fucking fall asleep. I felt a lot better. I actually felt like calm and good. Like going on break was actually really frustrating because what ended up happening is that because I felt better, I felt more creative. And because I felt more creative, I wanted to write stuff. And that like defeats the purpose of going on break, right? So a break was definitely necessary. Am I just going backwards? What the hell? Okay, this forest is starting to piss me off. I don't... I guess I should also specify what kind of break it was. It was like... I should be able to go left. But it's like, I can't find a way out. Okay. Oh, finally a trainer at least. Okay, so the thing about it, so anyway, yeah, I took a break, and by break I meant specifically I'm not like writing stuff. I guess it doesn't look that different to like if you're strictly watching the things that like get put out, especially on this channel, like the difference between me being on break and me not being on break is like non-existent, just because like my output is pretty slow. Is this even cool? Like my output is pretty slow, so it's like so it's like, what is like, there was nothing coming out before and there's nothing coming out now, so what's the difference? But the difference is actually pretty tangible for me because why does it do so much damage? What the hell? Because the difference is that on one thing, even though nothing's coming out, I'm either constantly working on something or I constantly had that feeling like there's a thing I haven't finished, right? And that was like a lot of stress for like to go under with like bullshit Yuusha, to just have it where it's like every single day I wake up, every single day I go to sleep, I feel fucking guilty because I haven't finished the thing that I said I would. And I have to go back to my patrons and get another excuse for why the thing I said would be coming out months ago still hasn't come out, right? So the break definitely helped in regulating that, because first of all, I had finished something. Second of all, people liked it, and third of all, I was no longer responsible for continuing to make a thing. So that was pretty good for both my mental health and my self-esteem. Oh no. Okay. So that's nice. So then the question is, if I feel better, should I go back to making things? Like, should I go back to actively working on stuff? And I don't want to say no, right? Like, I don't want to say not, because I do really enjoy what I'm doing here. We'll get to what exactly it is the fuck I'm doing in a second, because that's also another problem. But whatever it is that I'm doing between Medium and Twitter and YouTube and the podcast and on and on and on, I do like it. I guess the way I'd say it, the way I put it is, I enjoy being Mode Black. I enjoy being the anime anarchist who will tell you about the history of the Soviet Union and then also complain about whatever seasonal anime came out. That's a very fun role to play. How do you get out? Do you just not get out of this forest? Am I being fucked with? God, I'm so lost. I'm terrible with direction. Okay, yeah, but I enjoy being Mo Black, and I want to continue to be Mo Black, and I want to continue to like make stuff. And there's enough people here that I guess there's enough people that want to see me make stuff to justify continuing to do that. Goodness. But I guess like the first issue that I'm thinking about is that just like I went on break, and because I went on break, I now feel better. And now my question is like, if I started working on stuff again, would it just be the same? You know, like would I just like go back to feeling like shit and feeling stressed out all the time? That's a question. Oh. I'm so fucking stupid. Holy shit. Are you serious? Okay, but that's not obvious. That's not obvious. Okay, this is poor design. Okay, that's poor design. Okay. Anyway, I guess it's like, I guess the thing that I'm worried about is like, is doing this, is my brain set up in such a way that like working on this stuff is like fundamentally unhealthy for me. If I feel so much better not doing it. And I don't want to believe that answer is yes. Because, what does it say? Check your paper on news for details of how this press out for something. Okay, interesting. I don't want that answer to be yes, and the reason why I don't want that answer to be yes is writing about stuff, like, it made me better. Like, all the way back at like the very, very beginning, like when I wrote that first Shield Hero Feast, I was like depressed and like lonely. Like I was probably like I was probably in one of the like lower points, I guess, of my life in general. And writing about, basically what happened is when I started writing about anime, even though it was like a tiny like niche, what I got in my head is that like there's a thing that I can do that other people can't do. And that was really helpful for like, haven't I been here? I don't think so. Right, but anyway, the idea that there's a thing that I can do that other people can't do is really cool. Because how can you be entirely useless if there's things that you can do that other people can't do, right? So that was useful. And I also like doing it. Like I like writing, like I said. So it doesn't make sense for it to be like, well, it's like a fundamentally unhealthy thing. So I've been thinking lately about like, how do I make this like better and like more controlled, you know? I have a tendency to really. I have a tendency to just like to start a lot of things. That's a whole other story. Do I not have a ground type move? Let's ask. Okay. But yeah, I have a tendency to like start a lot of things and to not say no to people. So there's like a lot going on in my life just because. Okay, I've definitely fucking been here before. How do I actually? Hold on. Okay. I also like can't focus on more than one thing at a time, which is why this stream is going to be incredibly painful to watch probably. Yeah, you don't want to go to the. Have you seen Curious by Alan Wake? Deal with alienation for. I have not. I should give it a look. Thank you for suggesting it. But anyway, yeah, it's like I've been thinking about ways to like make it a little bit like put a little bit more like structure and discipline into the things that I do. And I'm not sure what that looks like in practice. But I think the key to that is to just ease into things a little bit. Like, I'm not sure when the next time I'm gonna make like a whole, you know, like, I'm not sure when the next time I'm gonna do anything like Bullshit New Yuusha is gonna be. It's probably not gonna be anytime soon. That's for sure, because that was a lot. I guess in the order of like difficulty, the tweets are the easiest thing. They're very easy to write. I make typos. I do them at like 2 a.m. Like nobody's got to read them or anything. The tweets are cool. And then after that, it's like writing shorter stuff, and then writing longer stuff, and then like video. Okay. This map is so confusing. Okay. If you want me to kill you, I'm gonna do it. Okay. Okay, now I've lost my train of thought. I think I actually have to do the mountain a second time, so I'm gonna go do that. Maybe I should move on from this topic. I'm not really sure. Yeah, so I guess I should talk about like the things that are, I guess, probably in the immediate pipeline. So the first thing that I got going for me is that so back in I think June. So this was like while I was still working on Bullshit New Yuusha. Like in June, I was working on while I was working on Bullshit New Yuusha, I pitched a piece to animemes. And I guess I'll just spill it. It's supposed to be sort of like not a lot of people watch the streams, so I guess it will still be kind of a surprise when I do it. When I do release it, it's kind of like hidden knowledge, I suppose. But the bottom line is, I pitched to animemes this piece about one direct priority. The essay was gonna be basically, it is of my personal opinion that one direct priority should have been a lot better than it was. And I think like an industry that is unwilling in general to trust newer, an industry that is unwilling, oh shit. You better get a higher magnitude this time, thank you. An industry that is in general like unwilling to trust new directors and new writers and new concepts, as well as like a general tendency to gloss over shows that are more overtly progressive, like as people know, One Direct Priority directly talks about. How do you make this? What's here? So One Direct Priority directly talks about issues that young girls face, and it actively includes trans girls in the narrative of what it means to be a struggling young girl. And that kind of explicit progressive content is pretty rare in anime. And when it is, it is in general the case that they do not get nearly enough resources to do it. There are some other pretty explicit LGBT anime that just never got finished, just because the industry decides that that's not what people want to see, you know. And so I wanted to argue that One Direct Priority is a victim of that same dynamic, pretty much. So I wrote up that whole outline, and I pitched it to Anyfem, and then basically what happened is my ADHD kicked in, and I just didn't check my email. And I missed the email that I got from them, and they were actually interested in the piece. So around June, July, I figured, oh, okay, they're not really interested in the piece. And that kind of bummed me out a little bit, but they were interested in the piece. I was just a fucking idiot. So in August, I realized that I had actually gotten an email from them, and I apologized, and they were like, okay, well, we're still interested in the piece, but there was a catch, and long story short, they don't want the piece as is. They basically, their concern is that if they argue, if I want to argue that eggs suffered because the industry doesn't like progressive content, I need direct proof from some sort of executive somewhere, at Cloverworks or whatever, of the guy cackling and being haha, yes, we will deliberately ruin One Direct Priority because there are trans people in it. And I'm like, no, that's not really how it works. However, it's kind of a non-starter at this point. There's not much more to negotiate. So I have to change the title somewhat, not the title, the premise somewhat, so that they're actually accepted. And so I'm like, okay. So that's the one piece that's kind of in limbo right now. I have to. The second thing is that I was sort of working on despite being on break is a CWT episode with Raghava and another guest the people involved have been kind of tired lately, so it hasn't really gone much further. So those are the two things. And so the question is basically just like, can I do more things? And the answer to that is probably no. I don't think I can do more things than that right now. So this is sort of aimless. Well, I started this knowing that it would be aimless, right? Because I'm trying to figure it out myself, because although those are the two things that are, I guess, like, they're the most started, like, I guess they're the easiest things. Like, they're the closest to being done if I wanted to get back into writing stuff. They're not, they're probably not even the most fun things to work on. Ah, shit, are you serious? I don't have a Petromary or something? Ass. Okay. Like, another thing that because I'm kind of stubborn. Like, the Wonder Egg priority piece, I had a whole conception about how it was supposed to be. Like that essay had a very particular form. And now that I can't use that form, it's like I have to come at it from like an entirely different angle, and that sucks. No, I have Rock Smash. What are you talking about? Do I need to beat the gym leader first? What the fuck? This game is so annoying. Right, so I had an essay. The essay was supposed to go the one way, but now it's got to go a different way. So until I find an angle that is like as compelling as the first one that I did, as the first one I came up with, I'm not going to be excited to work on it. And as for critical weave theory, so don't get me wrong, like, I definitely like doing critical weave theory. It's like, I've done some of my best work with critical weave theory. Like, the Code Geass episode, really, really, really good. I like it. Is Your Waifu White that I did with Lua? That was fucking awesome. There's a couple other episodes too that are like really good. But the thing about critical weave theory, is that it's like not mine. That's a little bit selfish. But it's like critical weave theory is like an entity that is distinctly separate from myself. It is a collaborative project that I do with Raghava. We get Panda to edit audio often, and so on and so forth. The only thing that I'm doing for critical weave theory is giving my platform to it. Like, instead of starting a new channel with like 3 subscribers and like getting people on, like, we're just using my channel to host it, right? Since people already follow me. And it's also like it's interesting, and I like doing it. But like the thing about podcasts is that like it'll really depend, like how it turns out will really depend on. I can't believe I can't smash any of these rocks. Are you serious? But like, yeah, how is this the exit? Yeah, So how the podcast turns out is not really just you, right? It's like how the guest works. It's how Raga works. How like the the take ends up, like your recording take and stuff. Cool. Whoopsie. And that's like fine and dandy, but like I want to like spend time developing myself for a little bit. So I'm also not like super jazzed to like spend a lot of time on critical weeb theory right now. So then there are like other things that I could be doing, right? I could be doing so something that I wanted to do. Actually, I'll save that till later because that's a whole other conversation. But something that I could be doing is I could be writing fiction. And that's interesting because I haven't actually written fiction in a very long time. What? And I actually have like a good idea for like a story. It would be a kind of, yeah, think like Code Geass, except not absolutely terrible in every way. Right. So the question is like, anyway, like which one of the various half-finished projects do I make into a finished project next? And the answer to that is probably going to be a couple of them simultaneously, depending on how I am feeling. But yeah, I'm setting expectations right now. Like, none of the stuff that I have planned in the near future are like videos. I might make like a meme. Memes are fun to do. Like the meme videos. Like I made the one with like Yume and like the Shadows House meme. Those are pretty fun to do. But like a whole video essay, I need to build myself up to like do one of those again. So there's that. Okay. I'm not sure how helpful this is in understanding where I'm at. Probably, it's probably better than like not being helpful. Oh, I didn't even post on Patreon. Okay, I posted on Patreon that I would be doing it yesterday. I'm pretty sure all my patrons follow me on Twitter, so they know. Okay, so I mentioned this is ass. I don't have any. I should definitely get something for flying types. Okay. So I mentioned that there was something that I was gonna think, like I was gonna mention later, so I'm gonna mention now. Like the other thing that I wanted to write, I wanted to write like a guide for, I wanted to write a guide for organizing, like a guide for organizing online, just because lately, if you've been following the discourse and the drama, there's a lot of people out there who are doing it wrong, pretty much. And I'm sort of sick of it. So I guess the other part of my experience in going on break is that one of the reasons that I explicitly said I wanted to go on break was because I wanted, basically, while I was feeling frustrated with like bullshit in Yuusha and how long it took to come out, there was also like a lot going on in the organizing spaces that I'm in, right? And I sort of felt bad, like some of those people do like follow me on Twitter. I think that was a mistake generally, but it's fine, whatever. I felt sort of weird, like tweeting about anime when like there are people trying to do things who know me. So I explicitly took a break, in part so that I could focus my efforts in like actual like socialist organization. And let me tell you, that was garbage. Holy shit. That was actually like the worst thing. Because how do I say this nicely? Socialist orgs? Okay, well, so if you find like a good organization that like, that represents like, that like filled with people who like see things the way you do and like agree with your theory of change and they're enthusiastic and they want to help you learn and grow, that's like really good. I don't have that. What I do have is a bunch of middle-class white people telling me what is realistic and what is not realistic, right? Like telling me what's worth pursuing and what's not worth pursuing. The organizations that I'm in are all like reformist garbage. They haven't read a single fucking book worth reading. They're just there because they liked Bernie and they want to do more election nonsense. Their theory for change is not actually gonna like bring about socialism or anything. They're so like, they say in theory that they're like a revolutionary organization that like that supports direct action and mutual aid, but like it's not true in practice. In practice, they're fucking sock dumbs, right? And I'm so fucking sick of them. And so I'm at the point in general where I'm frustrated with real life leftists. And then I'm like, at least I follow cool people online. But then online is filled with a bunch of like weirdo losers too. And they're all wrong about like land back and like black nationalism. And if you like follow what like Vosh did to Lua after their debate and basically like framing her as like a Nazi and like anyone who believes in like very basic and principled stances in like self-determination, why did that do so much damage? Right. Then you would know like what I'm talking about, like. So like I guess like in August I was depressed because of my stuff. Now I think my stuff is good and worth doing, but now I'm depressed because of like the left. I feel like last year there was like a whole bunch of, there was a bunch of mobilization. Like obviously like Black Lives Matter, there's definitely a very liberal contingent to that too. There's a lot of black people who unfortunately they see white supremacy, but they don't see patriarchy, they don't see cis heteronormativity, they don't see capitalism, right? And so they want they want to somehow achieve like racial equality and racial excellence without like challenging the underlying systems that make it up, right? So there's definitely like some people who like BLM isn't entirely socialist, right? But what happened last year is that it was like a start, I like So right before 2020, I spent some time abroad. I studied in Paris for a little bit. And if you know anything about French politics, in 2019, the French had a general strike, right? It was like a massive general strike because the administration wanted to do a retirement reform, like privatize a couple aspects of the system, push the age of retirement higher and stuff like that. And let me tell you, like, actually, like, being there with the general strike is a lot different than just like reading it. Like, every sector of society was like keyed into this general strike. The students' unions were there, the transportation unions were there, like the teachers' unions, like every single sector of society was united under this one common purpose: to express working class power in a way to challenge the French administration and their neoliberal bullshit, right? And I was there, and I was just kind of watching it happen, like, obviously, as someone who speaks French fairly well, but who is not French himself. And just like listening to people talking about it and like organize around it, seeing all the posters and stuff, and I was like, damn, like, I wish the same thing was, I wish like America had that kind of mobilization, right? Because like the French retirement reform, as bad as it was, like, America proposes far worse changes on a daily basis. Like, the idea that we have something called a government shutdown, where despite the fact that America in practice has infinite money, like, if Democrats and Republicans don't agree, like, all public workers just lose their wages. Like, the idea that that can happen, like, if France worked that way, the entire country would like constantly be on strike, right? If Germany worked that way, the entire country would be on strike. If Bolivia worked that way, the entire country would be on strike. But America works that way, and we just like let it happen, right? It's ridiculous, right? And so, as 2020 started, I was like, I wish the U.S. also had like that ability to like confront like systemic issues. And then, obviously, I'm not saying like, to be perfectly clear, it is absolutely despicable that like George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery were executed the way they were, right? There's no good in that happening. They're not martyrs, they're victims. But one thing that it did show is that, at least for a moment, the U.S., like, the workers here do have that ability to mobilize, to confront, to challenge, you know, the systems that oppress us. And despite the fact that 2020 sent me into a depressive spiral, like, one thing that was cool was that fact. It felt like everyone was like actually like united behind this idea, right? And even though there were like different people, there were a couple of weirdo leftists who were saying that like BLM is like a color revolution or something, and that it's like liberal or whatever. But the vast majority of leftists were like behind the mobilization, trying to like keep it going as long as possible. Fucking Portland was in like a civil war basically, right? For months, right? Between cops and fascists and anti-fascists. They would go to the streets they battled tear gas every single night, long after like other cities like demobilized, right? And so there was a sense that like we were moving forward. And so even though it was sad and tragic and dystopian and, you know, the unmarked fans and all that stuff, like, it felt like we were getting somewhere. And like, even in the organizations, like, there was like like a real like left-wing turn inside these organizations, right? Organizations that used to just be like, yeah, I'm a socialist because I like Medicare for all. All of a sudden they were like, abolition is a key part of our platform, right? Like police defunding is a key part of our platform, right? Like revolutionary socialism is a key part of our platform. And that was awesome, that was good. But like, in the past year, what's happened is like counterinsurgency, right? And not even like the militant, violent counterinsurgency. That was mainly 2020 under Trump, like with like basically ICE occupying different cities around the country, the unmarked vans, like I said, the fascists going around like killing people, like Kyle Rittenhouse. All that stuff was like the militant counterinsurgency, right? But the other counterinsurgency that the president Joe Biden has been very good at lately is like the media counterinsurgency. You know, like the idea that like the media made up like a crime wave out of nowhere, right? The idea that we needed to abolish the police to defund the police, and then we needed to defund the police down to reform the police if we wanted anything to get better, and then like all police reform conversations in the Senate like died, so we're not even getting that. The only thing we're getting is more uncritical support and funding towards the police. So like that movement is like gone. It's been discredited in the public eye. Everyone who was out in the street either got arrested or retired. The organizations are basically every organization that I'm in contact with right now is like struggling to keep people. It's just like a bad place to organize right now. And then the other thing is that like that's really sad is that like both in real life and online, I'm seeing leftists themselves also fall for it. Like, I guess the bottom line is there's like a lot of like woke white people who were super with like abolition when it was popular, and now that things are like hard and public opinion is no longer on our side, they just change with the flow too. Like they basically abandoned that. They're like, that now's not the time. That's not it. Like it's liberal. It's this. It's that. It's blah blah blah. And I'm really sick of dealing with that. Right? God damn it. Ew. Like I'm tired of that. Like I think I deserve like oh no, it's a huge power curl, yeah. I think I deserve better spaces, both IRL and online than what I've got, right? Than like basically like people who have pretty much like fallen for the media narrative around these topics. So I wanted to write, so that was kind of a long tangent, but it was a long tangent just to say like, I wanted to write a piece about like how to actually effectively use your position online, how to actually move things in the correct direction. The daycare. Oh, so daycare's up here. So that's like so it's like that piece I could be working on, or again the fiction, and those seem a little bit more interesting. Other than not. Okay, let's. let's beat this guy, and then I'm gonna go get water, and then we'll continue this very loose sort of conversation. Copy. Okay. I will be right back. Hello. Okay. Let me just make sure. Yeah, OBS looks good. So let's try and actually get house. Anime. Hi, Nora. Goodness. Nice. So which one would be the best for my party? If I got Tepig, so my favorite is Oshawott. That's the one I picked when I got Pokemon White as a kid. But I think Snivy is actually like better for the... Ooh, a Jolly Snivy. Wait, a Jolly Snivy? That's kind of ass though, right? Like, who's ever heard of a physical Snivy? It's... Man! Whatever. We're of course naming it Smuggy. So, okay, let me just... Oh, okay. We'll keep the Snivy for a little bit. We'll see what it can do. So let's recap, because that was kind of like a jumbled rant that I did just then. So let me just like we got to the town. Let me just kind of pause and like recap basically everything that's going on so far, right? Bullshit and Yuusha. I did not work on it in a way that was healthy. I got really frustrated and kind of self-hatey about it. I did not expect it to do well. It did perfectly fine. Like relative to my size anyway. Which is nice. Then I took a break. I started to feel better about myself and my work, but I am worried that if I started working on stuff again, I would just like repeat the mistakes that I did. So I'm trying to work on things that are like piecemeal and like slowly to just like build myself back up to the point where I can do like another big long anime essay that y'all seem to love way too much. That probably means that there's not going to be a lot of things, like a lot of videos on the channel, but if you follow me on other things, you might see some other stuff. I'm also while I'm no longer frustrated with my work, I am very, very frustrated at the left. The entire left has basically been demobilized, and like, I feel like there's a certain kind of white leftist that just goes with whatever is acceptable right now. That was super into abolition and super into organizing around the police when there was like a militant movement behind it. Sorry, that's my chair. And now that there isn't any of that, they're basically saying the opposite thing. And I'm also tired in general of being in spaces with white people where they just tell me that everything that I want to do is like not realistic and not responsible, not a good use of our platform, and no, we gotta support our politicians that are in City Hall. They're totally gonna pass a socialist budget. I'm just fucking socialist budget my ass. Holy fucking shit. There was okay, so this is a tangent, but I guess it's like it's a good thing to point out. There was like a recent, so you know, like AOC and like the tax the rich dress. The interesting thing about the slogan tax the rich is that it only works on people who are sure that the government will give them social services, right? And there's like a lot of black and brown people in this country who historically, no matter what the tax rate has been, that money has never ended up in their neighborhoods, right? Like no matter how high we tax like millionaires and billionaires, somehow that money never ends up in like black schools, right? It never ends up in black businesses. It never ends up in black neighborhoods. So there's like a lot of working class people for whom tax the rich means absolutely nothing. Right. But if you're focused entirely on electable messages, focused on people who vote, then I suppose tax the rich sounds like a nice socialist slogan, you know. It's not. But anyway, yeah. Point is, feeling better about myself, feeling worse about the state of the left. I'm kind of sick of these people. This isn't like an I left the left segment. No, I'm very much still. I have not moved to the right in any sense. I'm still very much a leftist. I'm still very much a socialist. I'm still very much an anarchist. It's everyone else that needs to catch up with me. That's basically. I'm sorry. It had to be said. It had to be said. So anyway, those are the things I've been thinking about right now. And I'm not sure exactly the best way to deal with that. How come the gym leaders get megas and I don't? That's not fair. Yeah, I'm not really sure the best way to solve all these problems. But I figured that if I could just like, excuse me. If I could just like ramble about it for like an hour or so, I would understand better. So yeah, I had something else. I had more things, but I forget. So I'm just gonna I'll keep doing this until I remember. Until I remember. Until I remember what the hell I was trying to say. Wait, no, I can definitely, hold on. Oh, yeah, I remember. I guess the last major thing that I had in mind just had to do with like my audience itself. So I think everyone okay. Sure. Okay, I'll use that opportunity to train. Thanks, Nara. Yeah, so the thing about my audience is that I think like the people who are here I appreciate very much, because there was indeed a time where I didn't think anyone would care about anything I have to say, and it's not true. People do care about what I have to say. That's pretty cool. I guess like between like the Vosh thing and the ContraPoints thing, like I don't know if you remember, she like released her fucking video on envy where she said like all revolution is based on a feeling of envying people who have more than you, and that's why they're all doomed to fail. And what we should be focusing on are meaningful, simple reforms. Damn, blah blah blah. What a fucking bitch. Fucking ContraPoints. Jesus Christ. So what I've been thinking more and more is just like, I'm so much better than these people. Like, see, I swung in the opposite direction, right? In August, I was like, wow, I'm a failure, right? But Mo in October is like, I'm like better than these people, right? I'm like, I legitimately understand these things more than them, right? So how come they get to set like the terms of like discourse, right? How come everything we talk about has to be on like stupid people's terms, right? And so I've just been like, I guess, increasingly miffed Wait, what'd I just do? Let's see. Yeah, I've been increasingly miffed that ooh, a new song. Wait, hold on. Let me turn up the tunes. Hold on. Let's just. This isn't as good as I thought it'd be. Okay, I'm just increasingly miffed that there's not more people, basically. Like, in the sense that I kind of feel like, does this thing have a levitate? I think it does. Like, the thing is that I work on these things. Like, I work on, like, Bullshit No Yuusha, I work on Social Roachfoot, I work on all these, like, essays and stuff. And maybe their production value isn't worth much, because I'm still learning. But they do like cost a lot, right? They cost a lot of time. I gotta take time out of my classes to do them. And then emotionally they cost a lot. given how much of a risk they are to my mental health. And then at the end of the day, like, fucking Vosh can just like shit out like a take, and it gets like 40,000 views. Why? That makes no sense. So I want to like, asshole. I want to like more actively, I guess, shill myself. I don't really like the word shill. I used to get comments a lot where people will be like, you know, like, you're really undersubscribed, but that's okay because you don't chase clout. And I guess I can understand people saying that to some sense, because there are people who are like really annoying with like their self-advocacy. But like, here's the thing, right? Like, I want to like value myself more, because when I was growing up, at one point I called it being humble, but it wasn't being humble. It was, this dude's literally just ahead. Look at this dude. Fight me. Fight me. Anyway, like, I used to be like, oh yeah, I'm just like humble, but no, I'm not humble. I don't value myself, right? So I'm trying to work on that. And basically, my estimation is that, like, I feel like the stuff I do is too awesome to just have like a couple people watch them, or like a couple people read them. Like, that's not fair to me. I know this is, I think, a point that maybe me and Raghava see a little bit differently, because I know they're, well, I mean, I won't speak for them per se. Maybe this isn't how they see it, but thank you. But I know they're very much like, well, like, all the right people see like critical weeb theory, and it's true. Like, there's a lot of cool people who like follow critical weeb theory, and we've gotten a lot of like kind words about, like, especially lately with our commitment to BDS and the podcast. That was like really good for some people. Really? How'd you get a higher role than me? Anyway, and so like, there is some senses that, like, as long as like people we actually care about continue to support the show, then we're like doing a good job. So it's like, yeah, I agree with that to some sense. But it's like, I don't think it's wrong to get more people to watch my things, because yeah, I made it to be watched. I didn't make it to like sit around. Like, I made it so that people would be exposed to my ideas and be exposed to my art. So one of the things that I've noticed that's like difficult about like actually growing an audience here. So it's like, I'm not doing too bad, right? There are definitely channels that are like slower growing than mine. I'm doing actually pretty well for first, like, what, like 2-3 years. Like, this really isn't bad. Hello. But like, one thing that I've noticed, at least on Twitter, is that like, I'll have like periods where people follow me, and then they'll like leave, and then they'll follow me, and then they'll like leave. And I think the reason why is because the people that follow me for the people that follow me for communism get put off when I talk about anime and I tweet about anime boobs, right? And the people that follow me for anime get put off by how political I am. And so like, in hindsight, if I had made like 2 different channels, like a political channel and an anime channel, and like a political Twitter and an anime Twitter, it probably would have worked out a lot better than it did. I mean, well, not really a lot better, but like I wouldn't have had that problem. But that's not like the end of the world, I don't think. Because, and I don't think I'm gonna like split them up anytime soon. Because to me, they're like intrinsically linked, right? Like my taste in anime is like directly informed by my politics, and the way I it's true, it's very sad, but like, yeah, the way I think about media is primarily in political terms, right? So it wouldn't make sense to be like, here's my apolitical thoughts on decadence. Like, what does that even mean? Like, or like, here's my apolitical thoughts on Shield Hero. Like, what does that even mean? You know? I think the key to like growing is like some form of regularity, basically. Like, and that's like hard because I'm not in a position where I can make things regularly right now. Like I just explained, like the whole like burnout thing. Like, I'm not in a place where I can just be like, okay, every Friday I'm making a video, right? But regularity may be less in terms of like a schedule and more in terms of like things to expect, is one thing. So like, if I can standardize what my content does look like when it comes out, that could be a little bit helpful. The other thing that could be helpful is like making things that are a little bit like easier to understand. Yeah, it is. Being consistent is a very, very hard thing to do. It's not. There's a lot of factors. Like, I think that like you need to like actually be in the position where you're like regularly like making art and releasing it or at least like listen to people when they explain the problems to like understand what's going on. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the other thing is that I need to make more things that are like easy to explain. If that makes sense? Like, I guess to compare, like my Yasuke video, it's like 10 minutes long, and it's pretty easy to understand, right? I think that the backlash to Yasuke is at least in part racially motivated. I did happen to like the show. I know it wasn't for everyone. A lot of people were expecting a like by the books like historical remake, and then we got like mechs instead, right? We got like robot mechs from Mongolia instead. So I can understand people being disappointed. But that does not explain just how much the show was universally panned, despite the fact that the writing is fine, and there are a lot of anime, especially like anime with like actual like racial problems that like people really liked. So like that's like an easy thing to understand. Like bullshit no Yusha. Like what even is that? You know, it's like like bullshit no Yusha is like it's like a 4-part thing where like I have these different characters that like talk to each other, and they're like trying to figure out like why isekai is bad, and it like there's like 9 different anime, and there's like a whole like narrative thing that goes on, and like if you're not like if you don't already like trust me to be like if you don't already trust me like with the topic, wow, that guy got a big head. Like if you don't already trust me to do like a good analysis on isekai, then it's like, why would I watch this, you know? So like bullshit no Yusha is like, it is like the kind of thing that I like doing the most. What? Lowland grammar. Interesting. It is the kind of thing that I like doing most. But if I only do that sort of stuff, then I'm like not gonna grow very fast. So like the other thing that I'm gonna work on is like trying to find the kinds of things that like I still like to do. They're still like true to me. I'm not gonna like completely change up all of my content, like just to oh, this was a bad choice. I'm not gonna completely change up all of my content just to like appeal to like normies or whatever. But if I had like a type of thing that was like easier to get into, I think that would help a lot. I also somehow I need to like clean up my Twitter. My Twitter also needs to be, because right now anything that I feel I tweet, and I don't think that's sustainable. So that's the other thing. Yeah, so I guess those are the 2 main thoughts on like growing. The frustrating thing about like content is that like I can't choose what goes viral and what doesn't. Like I don't even like I've been on Twitter since February of last year, and I still don't like fully understand like what my Twitter followers want. Because sometimes I'll do like one of those anime threads where I just like I'll do like one of those anime threads where I just like kind of talk about like tweet about an anime that I've been like watching, like usually a seasonal, and they'll like do like really well. They'll get like a bunch of retweets, a bunch of likes, and then I'll tweet about the same anime later, and like it'll get like 2 likes or something. That's gonna do a lot of damage. And it's like it's the same anime. Like, did you guys want more stuff like that? And the answer is like, yeah, you know, who knows? And likewise, like I'll tweet about, like when I tweeted about like ContraPoints, I like live tweeted her Envy video. That was like mad popular. Like how much did, hold on, let me, cause I still have it here. Like that tweet, let me find it. Come on, please load. Thank you. Here, right? Yeah. Yeah, like that first thing got like 74 likes, which is like a lot for me. Right? Like people there are like tweets in here with like 100 likes or something, and it's like, why? Like, like this thread was like, it got like an insane amount of engagement. And then like I did the same thing with the Vosh stuff, and with Lua, and that got like basically no engagement. So there's really like no telling like what'll be successful and what won't. So that's like the frustrating thing, but there are ways that you can actually like make sure. There are ways that you can maximize your chances that things get successful. So I think that, like for example, on Medium, like when I write my essays, I'm probably going to be a little bit more careful about like search engine optimization, actually making sure that like people can find the stuff with keywords. Make sure I pick good pictures and thumbnails. On YouTube, I might try to do the thing where like I have like several different thumbnails and like several different titles, and like try and see which one is the best combination. Just like more anime hot takes, more funny quote retweets. Yeah, okay. Sure, I'll do some of those. I'll definitely do more of those. I'll do. I'll try and like, in general, just like be more conscious of the fact that like I'm not gonna treat like the stuff I do as like just for myself anymore. From now on, our team's gonna be the Black Mo. Oh, that's perfect. Okay, sure. Cool. Anyway, yeah, I'm like, just like not treating it like a thing that I just do like by myself, like for myself, but like treating it as like a thing that I do for like other people. Well, okay, no, that's not the right word. The word is like, okay, here's the correct wording. I still want to do the things that I want to do, and I still want to do it authentically. But part of doing what I want to do and doing it authentically is treating my own work with respect. And that means making sure that it gets the attention that it deserves. That's the thing. So if you see me like, I guess like, I don't want like, there might be some things on the channel or on the Twitter or something that seem like, dang, this guy wants attention now. And it's like, yeah, but it's not a bad thing. It's like a good thing, I think. I think a lot of people like hate clickbait in the sense that like they hate being like misled, and I think that's true. But I don't think it's clickbait to just like make sure that people know that you exist and that you're making things that are interesting. So yeah. I think that's actually like all that I wanted to say. Thanks for like sticking around. This didn't take as long as I thought it would. Motorcycle. Awesome. Press L to activate turbo boost so you can take it easy and pedal. I'm glad I told you I hadn't heard from my brother in truth. I knew he was the leader of Black Emperor and I just thought you were on. Okay. So Also just produce voiceover if you don't know home on your channel. Oh yeah, sure. That's true, that's true. There's a lot of different things that I could do that are very, there's a lot of things that I could do that are both like, authentic and like a little bit easier to like build audiences around. So I think if I announce that I'm coming back, that's gonna be one of the goals as well. So yeah, I still have some time. Do I challenge the gym leader or? Yeah, sure. Thanks for coming, Nara. I think what I want to do is I actually want to save here, and then what we can do to close out our little stream here is we can go to. Yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, actually, Nightmare. That's a good point. Like I did actually forget something. Like the last thing I guess I want to talk about is like, what the hell am I like doing here? Like what is this channel? Like what is my Twitter? What is my Medium? Like what's the point of it? Like, do I write about politics? Do I write about anime? Do I use anime as an excuse to talk about politics? Like what's happening here? And it's actually really funny because as I was thinking about it one night, I had a dream. I shit you not, I had a dream. And the dream was, I went on Twitter and I said something like Mo Black is me posting whatever the fuck I want. And that was the tweet, that was the whole dream. And you know what? I think I agree with that. But like in a sense what that means is that like, so okay, internally, like when I think about the stuff I've made, I have a lot of convoluted ways of like categorizing my stuff, right? Like, you know, I have like the really long essays, I call them treatises, and like the shorter things, I call them hot takes. But I also, and that's like on the Medium, like it's like Mo's home for treatises and hot takes, and they're like sorted in that way. That was like before I thought I wanted to go on Twitter. It's a little bit less relevant now, because I thought like the Medium would be like the main place where people would see my stuff. So that's why it's like organized that way. But the other thing that's like internal to me and me alone, I don't really actually like publicize this, is just I think about my stuff in like seasons. So like Bullshit New Yuusha was the end of like season 2, I guess. Like the first season was when I wrote about, like when I did the first Shield Hero essay and the Kill la Kill essay. And the reason why is because like I guess like I'm doing air quotes. I just realized you can't actually see the air quotes that I'm doing. So the reason why they're quote seasons is because I group them by the circumstances under which I am writing them. So the first 2 pieces I wrote them when I was like there were 2 things. I was like newly radicalized. I had just come to the conclusion that maybe capitalism is not necessarily a great idea. I had not read, I had just started reading Marx. The only thing I knew about anarchism is that it sounded interesting to me. And I was writing with the assumption that basically no one would read it, right? So like those 2 essays I did not like popular, like the first Shield Hero essay, I didn't even, like I just hit publish on Medium and I like gave it to Ragva, and Ragva like distributed it on Discord, and that's how it spread. So it's amazing that many people read it. And the Kill la Kill essay, I posted it to our anime, and our anime fucking hated it. They were like, it was really funny. They were like, why are you analyzing Kill la Kill? Everybody knows that Kill la Kill is meaningless. I'm like, well, the people who like Kill la Kill think it has meaning, but then as soon as you criticize it, all of a sudden it doesn't have meaning. It doesn't make no sense. Anyway, but so like those two essays are like together because I was kind of like in the same mindset when I wrote them. And then after that, I wrote the second Shield Hero essay, which is the first video on my channel. And I wrote the Terraformers essay. And then I wrote Bullshit no Yuusha. Right. And those things are grouped together because under those, I was trying really hard to be BreadTube, basically. I was on our BreadTube a lot. I talked with a lot of the users there. I posted my videos there. I wrote a lot about like ContraPoints and things like that. And I wanted it to be like media analysis and politics and like a little bit of like a personal thing. So I guess this is things that people don't know very much. But like those three essays, they all secretly talk about like things that I'm going through, right? So the second Shield Hero essay, which is Real Women Don't Love You, it was actually like it's about like Shield Hero. It's about how it justifies slavery. It's about like neoliberal commodification of like femininity. It's about all of those stuff, but it's also like me processing like a breakup. It's true. Because I was thinking a lot about like why the relationship didn't work and the things that I did wrong and the kinds of media that gave me like a healthy outlook towards like women and relationships and the kinds of media that do not. And then the Souls of Roachbrook, the Terraformers one, was about me thinking about like my heritage and like my family and like I guess like being African and living in the United States. And Bullshit no Yuusha is about how it felt to write Bullshit no Yuusha. This stuff right copper anime, I was losing my mind. Yeah, it was nuts that like nobody, like people watch Terraformers and there's a lot of really obvious things in it and nobody like wrote them down. That was wild to me. That was wild to me. But I'm glad I wrote it down, right? So yeah, so they're BreadTube in that way because they all have like a little sprinkle of like my personal feelings in them. But what started happening as I was writing Bullshit no Yuusha is that I started to realize that BreadTube fucking sucks and I hate it. And I don't wanna be associated with them anymore. Not even the people who are like in BreadTube want to associate with BreadTube anymore. But like BreadTube specifically, like it's basically like a demographic. It's like the people who like Lindsay Ellis and H-Bomb and PhilosophyTube and Big Joel and those people. It's not like a place where you can like really get into like organizing socialism. And I want to stay away from spaces like that. So now I guess like if we want to enter the next quote, season unquote, like my thing is just that I want to move away from the thing where like every single thing that I write like secretly pushes like a socialist message, right? Obviously my stuff is still going to be like, it's always going to be left-leaning, right? And I'm going to write like more explicitly political content, but like the thing of like, instead of doing like the BreadTube thing where you like focus on where you like have a really long video and the end is like you get like a hint of like leftism in the video. What I want to do is either sometimes I just want to write about an anime, you know? Like sometimes an anime is weird and I just want to write about it, right? And sometimes I just want to write about a political thing. Like sometimes there's like a political thing. And I think I just want to like do that. Like, you know, if I want to write about Tokyo Revengers, I'll just write about Tokyo Revengers in the way that I want. And if I want to write about the reconciliation bill, I'll just write about the reconciliation bill in whatever way that I want. And it'll be less on focus, it will be less on trying to like do what BreadTube is supposed to do. Yeah, that was the last thing. Thanks for, I know Nightmare Alpha, that's not like what you wanted to do when you wrote that comment, but you did remind me of the other key thing that I wanted to say, so thank you. All right, so what I was gonna say is that since this hasn't taken as long as I thought, what we can do is we can, did I save? I'm just gonna save again just in case. What we can do here is we can go to our animeme, the anime meme subreddit, and we can, because when I did that last time, it was really fun. So we can do that again for a few minutes, and then I'll call this a successful stream. So let me pull up. Oh, and I'll also get some lo-fi ready as well. Just give me a second here. I gotta... Let me... Because then I need to get like another screen for the comments, so this is gonna be just a couple minutes here. Where's this? Okay. Let me just grab the stuff here. Yeah, but it was really fun. I wish we did more animemes streams. Hello, please cooperate. Okay, now are people I've been seeing like on Twitter, like people are thinking about like what anime they want for like animated year. And like, I'm not actually sure. Like last year, like I had like Decadence, right? And that was the show that like I just really, it's not, so Decadence like has flaws and the ending is like weak. It's not like, there are probably anime that are like, technically better than Decadence, right? In terms of like writing or production. But like the thing about Decadence that made it resonate so well with me is that like during like the uprising last year. Yeah, we did the Crunchyroll Anime Awards. Yeah. So like during the uprising last year, like there was like the show that like so intimately understood what it's like to like really be in like a revolutionary spirit, and it just like called it just like it like called you to like, you know, take the situation with your own hands and like really try and like change the world. And that's like the thing that I needed. But like this year, and it might be because like there's just really good anime that I unfortunately haven't seen. But like this year there's no show like that like really like moved me to the point where I can say, yep, that's the anime of the year. If I had to pick one, it would either be actually be Sunny Boy or One Drag Priority. And so the interesting thing is, so I know that One Drag Priority is kind of like a hot take right now, because like basically everyone that liked One Drag Priority basically says, caveat, the ending was disappointing and bad, and you know, I would have said it was the anime of the year, but then the ending happened, you know. And I'm not gonna say that Egg had a good ending, okay? The production fell apart. People were hospitalized, okay? Like, the art clearly suffered because of, like, it was a mess, okay? It was a mess. And I think even when I reviewed it, I basically said it was, like, the writing was kind of incomprehensible, even though I really, really liked the show. But the thing about One Drag Priority is that, like, as I think about it, even when it was bad, it's still better than most things. Right? There's so many worse anime. Just so many worse ones. Right? And so, like, if I did say, like, Egg was, like, anime of the year, it wouldn't be because it stuck the landing or because it was good. But it would be because, like, of the way it resonated with me, even despite all its flaws. It still did that. Like, it still was magical. It was like a magical train wreck. And Sunny Boy, I think, for obvious reasons, just like being artsy and avant-garde and unique in that way. The show, it is about it does like criticize power. It criticizes like rules and like social relationships. And you know, I'm always down for that. But like the thing about Sunny Boy is that like even, all right, I'm pulling up the animemes. Even though it was like very good, like it didn't like, it didn't like make me feel. It didn't like make me feel like that spark, you know. And when I think anime of the year, I feel like that spark. Like that's what I'm thinking about. I know if you ask Raghava, I think Raghava would say Sunny Boy, because Sunny Boy is really, really special to them. So if you want to talk Sunny Boy, definitely just like, if you're in the Discord, just ping them. I think they'll be very happy to just like talk about how great it is. Okay, let's see. So last time we did this, we did it around Valentine's Day. And so people were horny and depressed. Let's see if they've gone to therapy or not. Let's go. This guy says, no, you don't want the sauce, trust me. Oh, wait, okay. Animemes, content warning for probably, for inappropriate things. And problematic things around gender and things like that. Animemes is very, you know, the propaganda has already entered the animemes. It's true. At least they have Jahi. Jahi. Okay, let's just read the meme. How I sleep knowing that I just masturbated to Vaporeon. What? Why, man? Are you okay? Okay, let's read the comments. I don't trust you. I need this. Why, man? Some things stay in drafts, okay? You don't gotta put everything you just did on the internet. Okay, let's move on. You shall not pass my D. You pissed me off. So I'm gonna end your virginity right here. Okay. Okay, so it's a hentai. Okay. So Jahi Sama Will Not Be Defeated is really cute and funny. It's such a cute and funny show, and it's a shame because politically it's sort of ass. Like it's a show that like justifies the existence of bosses and landlords. It's supposed to be about like a demon girl who now has to live under late capitalism, but then the show like spends its entire time like justifying late capitalism. Like all these demons, they get reincarnated into our world, and all of them are either like middle class or rich, except for Jahi. And we're supposed to believe it's because like everyone else knows how to save and Jahi doesn't. Jahi works a fucking minimum wage job at a restaurant. You're seriously telling me that like she's just supposed to save? Yeah, basically. Oh, I should have watched Black Dungeon. Like there's a bunch of anime that like I was interested in and I didn't watch this season because of the whole break thing. So I'll try and like catch up on like Black Dungeon is one, Aquatope is one. Maybe I'll watch one of those and it'll like give me the anime of the year feeling. But yeah, that's why Jahi is I picked the thumbnail for Jahi because she's doing the surprise Pikachu face. she's doing the meme. So anyway, I've seen this meme on TikTok, which is kind of surreal. But yeah, I guess they do look like them, don't they? It's pretty funny. Let's see. Jujutsu Kaisen. I mean, the amount of things that the Jujutsu Kaisen theme goes with. Oh, wait a minute. If I play this whole song, the stream is gonna get fucking sniped for copyright. But yeah, it's like I'm gonna pop. It's Macklemore, right? New Komi-san looks dope. Okay, that wasn't bad. Let's check the comments. Yeah, it's pretty funny. We basically brought AMVs back. But if you want someone who's really good at AMVs, you should follow Joystick. She's awesome at AMVs. Komi-san can't communicate, more like Komi-san can't walk. Komi-san can't communicate the story about taking revenge for Komi's death. So I did watch. There was like a 10-minute preview for Komi-san that just came out. I mean, it wasn't that bad or anything. I couldn't help but like notice that like all the people in the show were like, Komi-san is the most beautiful woman the school has ever seen. Like she makes all the guys and the girls like swoon over her absolute beauty. And it's just like an average looking pale skinned girl, okay? She just has white skin, okay? Like it's not that big a deal. I mean, she's pretty, I guess. She's not that pretty. Like I don't. I think like it's rather interesting because like when you say like, oh, this character is beautiful, it always just reveals what the writer thought, like thinks beauty is supposed to be. It's like when I did Bullshit in Yuusha and I had to design Isekai goddess, I was like, okay, she's got to be like a beautiful woman. But the design that I ended up with is just like what I personally think is beautiful. It's not like a universal standard of like what beauty actually is. Pale skin is definitely like, I definitely wanted to like play into the idea that a lot of characters have pale skin, but like her actual like body type and like design sense is just like what I would think a beautiful anime character would look like. Okay. Anywho, the average Mal reviewer, Weebs, this is the worst anime ever, or me. So it's a 1 out of 10. Best I can do is 6. No, but see, that's interesting. Because I think the actual reviewers really do like 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10. More color. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Komi-san, like her design is fine. I just think it's like really interesting that like it's really interesting to see like the societal standards at play when you watch a show like that. I'm not here to like cancel Komi-san for like not having any like dark skinned characters or whatever. The show takes place in Japan. It's in a Japanese high school. Like it's like fine, you know. But like it'd be nice if we had like if Komi-san could exist and like other shows that were more diverse could also exist next to it. I think that would be the best way to go. But anyway, on the Mal reviewers, I think the actual reviewers really do use the whole spectrum. It's just the thing is that like if a show is bad, then it'll all average out to like a 6. And if the show is good, it'll all average out to like an 8 or 9. Bad and good, of course, being in quotation marks because, I mean, again, Shield Hero still has an 8 out of 10. It's not a very good show. What is this? This is overflow. Why did you just... You can't just post porn on Reddit and call it a meme. That's not a thing. Okay. That's not a meme. Okay. Okay, fine. Let's see. If you make a meme and post a sauce, I'm more likely to give you an upvote. Okay. So you're bargaining for upvotes here. Classic Reddit. 3 stages of an anime fan. What the fuck is this shit? No, okay, no. This just isn't true. Like the idea that like eventually everyone just watches like little girls like run around and shit, like no. But there's definitely like a lot of people there's a lot of like anime fans who just like you know, they have like their tastes and they're like yeah. I mean, okay, there's definitely some people who like cute girls doing things, right? And I'm not like knocking anyone who likes cute girls doing things. But the thing, like, but the idea that like the platonic ideal of an anime fan is just people that like cute girl doing things and people who are completely okay with like lolly stuff is just like not true. You're basically just like trying. It's people's attempts to make their specific interests look more present than it actually is. Let's see. I've seen all 9. And I also hate it when people say, you're a man of culture. Oh yeah, you're a cultured weeb. Like, shut the fuck up. Okay, you watch Japanese cartoons, okay? And they're fun and they're interesting. But they're not even like a good way to learn about Japanese culture as a whole. It's just your hobby. And it's good that it's your hobby. It's my hobby too. But that's all it is. It's nothing more than that. Like Lucky Star comedy and weird. Yeah, I want to check out some more popular anime. So Lucky Star might be one of those things I say. Yeah, right? Exactly, David. It's like weird. Like in and of itself, this sort of imposing this sort of progression on others is elitist. But watch everything from trash isekai to feel good slice of life. There's more anime than trash isekai and feel good slice of life. Cute milfs doing stuff anime, yes. Okay, this one's NSFW. I'm gonna open it in another window just to make sure. Just to see how bad it actually is. It's not that bad. Okay, let's see. It's Netflix. Are you still there? Everyone else, and then me. Okay, so people are still depressed. Please. Please. Please, sir. Please. Like, it's a self-defeating prophecy. If you just think that you're gonna be alone forever, then you're not gonna take the opportunities to actually meet new people. Attack on Titan meme. Okay. Death Note meme. Hey, Kira. I mean, big brave move. That's the end of Death Note. Yeah, I mean, it would end the show, sure. To be honest, given how the show ended, I felt very cheated by the end of Death Note, personally. Cause the thing that Light was trying to do was very bad. So if he won, it would have maybe justified his worldview in a way. Actually, anyway, it justifies his worldview more than the show already does. But I don't know, at the same time, Light was he had put too much work for me to just say okay, you lose because you forgot to, because somehow someone was able to I'm not gonna spoil it actually, but you lose just the way it ended up happening. Okay, let's see. Oh, this is Office Girl anime, right? There's two Office Girl anime that are just about office girls with big boobs that's coming out this fall. It's kind of lame. Okay. Okay, I guess. We don't body shame here, people have their preferences, but everyone's of course equally valid, and I think everyone is beautiful to someone else, because the variety in what people actually like is way more pronounced than people like to think. Okay, let's move on. Fandom has terrible taste. Goodness, listen, if you learn how to draw, you can draw your own Mirko porn, okay? Listen, good for Jahi. Maybe she could quit her job. Ichigo. Let's see. This girl plus Ichigo from Bleach. This is kind of lame. I mean, I guess. It's just not a very good meme. What are people saying? Who? I mean, I forgot what this hentai is called, but it's from one of them. Opera singer hits extremely like the glass dildo so girl's ass. What? That's not. I don't know what it is about the subreddit that just like inspires such terrible memes. Like what? Why would there be a like? No, it needs to be like something that like it. The second one needs to be like something unexpected, but something that someone would actually have, right? Guy who knows what The Rock is cooking, guy who watches anime on TV in the living room. I don't get it. I don't. Me watching anime with my mom, try showing her redo of Healer. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why? I don't. I mean, I guess this only makes sense if you're watching like objectionable anime, but like 86 is bag. Let's see. I don't. I mean, okay, so 86 is definitely better than Darling in the Franxx. But like, it's not that much better than Darling in the Franxx. Like, it's not that much better that you get to do the Chad Lena meme, okay? A Shield Hero meme? Really? 2 years out? Okay, let's see. Joystick. Here, I can type in the chat. Okay, let's see. That's right. The Devil is Shield nearly raped me. Okay. That's a such atrocity, yeah. I don't know who all these people are. Not even the worst girl in a silent voice. So I do notice that like whenever there's like an anime character that doesn't like a boy who's the main character, she generally gets portrayed in the fandom as like a bad person, regardless of what that main character actually did. I will never understand. I wrote a whole thing about Konosuba. I will never understand like how much people like Aqua. I will never understand it because like the narrative fucking hates her, right? And the narrative doesn't. I don't even think Konosuba thinks she's hot. Like the show doesn't think that Aqua is hot. Like Aqua is designed as hot just because all women in Konosuba are sexualized. Because Konosuba doesn't know how to interact with women in a way that is not inherently sexual. But it's not like Konosuba, narratively speaking, absolutely fucking hates Aqua. And even like in the story, the only girl who it sort of like likes is like Megumin, because Kazuma and Megumin are like the endgame ship. And yet people were like, oh yeah, I think this person is entirely useless and terrible in every way, but she has a big butt and I like her. I'm like, why, man? Why do you want to spend time with her? I don't. It confuses me. Like, I guess on the abstract, I understand the dynamic that like she's just kind of like I understand like the waifu dynamic, but I still have a hard time like wrapping my head around it because it's like it's such like a foreign feeling to me. Okay, let's see. Just because I'm a weeb doesn't mean I listen to Japanese music a lot. Okay, I do, but not because I'm a weeb. Oh, yeah, listen to what you want, dude. One dojin has 69 digits, and it's actually 1619. Okay. It's very different than where Kazuma is useless. Interesting. Here, let's see. Another NSFW. Oh, this is just a camera angles meme. It's not worth showing. What type of anime fans do you dislike? A person entering the anime. Toxic power callers? Questionable ships? Who compare and hate on certain anime elitists? You know what's really alienating in the anime community? When you enter, and then there are people pushing shit like redo of healer on like average people, and saying if this makes you uncomfortable, then you're not a real anime fan. That's way more like alienating than like any of these groups. And like people who like think that anime fans are supposed to be like a certain way, who like use slurs against trans people, who like talk about female characters in the way that they do, like that's a lot worse. Let's see. Gifted kids in high school, gifted kids in university. Yeah, gifted kids is a capitalist lie. Also, it's super weird, right? Because I was put in the gifted program. I don't think it helped me in any way. But like, it's super weird that we have a school system that when they see like some students doing well and some students doing bad, rather than investing in the students that are doing bad so that they do well, they like take the students that are already doing well and they basically like cut them off from everyone else, I guess out of fear that all the bad students will infect the good. It's like, it's the assumption that all students are basically bad by default. Like everyone's stupid by default, and we just need to like pick out the smart kids and make sure they're rich and successful while everyone else kind of suffers. It's like, no, everyone can be successful, just if given the right investment. Let's see. This is another NSFW one. It's a ReZero meme. It's awful. You don't need to see that. Okay, Konosuba meme. Guess the country. The scenery is nice and the food is good. The only problem is the people. What country are they gonna say? Let's see. Do you have the slightest idea how little it narrows it down? United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru, Republic Dominican, Cuba, Caribbean, Haiti, Greenland, El Salvador too, Puerto Rico, Colombia, Venezuela, Honduras, Guyana, and still, Guatemala, Bolivia, then Argentina, and Ecuador, Chile, Brazil. Okay. I knew it was Yaku's World first. So did I. Any place of humans, Earth, probably France, Italy, Melremark. Now Fumi Iwatsuki. Release your slaves, man. What are you doing? What are you doing, man? Stop owning people. That's not nice. Why is my mouse doing that? Okay, let's see. Okay. Death Note. 15-year-old me when teacher punishes me to sit with the girl. What? Daily Nichijou meme. Let's go. When you enter a new restaurant and hear male voice saying, "You fucking donkey," from the kitchen. Gordon Ramsay's here. It means the restaurant is great. When your crush isn't a fan of thick thighs. What? Okay. Fellow men of culture, enlightened art connoisseurs. Oh no, this is a good meme. This is a good meme. And I notice how it doesn't have many upvotes and there are no comments. That's how you know it's a good meme. That's how you know it's true. Amazing. Oh, whoops. There we go. That's a good meme. That's a good fucking meme. Everyone during PE. This is just dodgeball. That one annoying kid. This is Power Family. We're not related, okay? Axis invented. Oh yeah, so the joke is that if you know how BC works, then yeah, okay. There's an axe, yeah, okay. Okay, so this is a remake your life meme. And remake our life meme. Talented people, lucky people. Oh, don't think about it like that. When life isn't daijoubu, you'll be daijoubu, don't worry. Homeboy goes back in time to race style and gets a second chance at fixing his messed up life. Of course, waifu is central back there. You know how it goes. Okay, but he goes to art school, man. Like, how many of these people want to go to art school? I don't get it. Aren't talented people just lucky people with extra steps? Yeah. Capital gain. No, that's an ad. I don't know what's going on there. When it's October 1st and there's already Christmas stuff at your local Walmart. Okay, let's see. This is another NSOW meme. Let's see what it's like. This doesn't make any sense. 86 meme. The Undertaker. I don't know. I don't watch wrestling. That's not bad. That's not bad. That's not bad. You can't wait for January Attack on Titan opening. Without spoiling the openings and stuff. Okay. You can be easily replaced. I mean, yeah, under capitalism. This is a poster and word count. Alternate future. Okay. Ew. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I'm afraid to click on this one. Okay, let's see this one. Anime only manga readers like novels, web novel readers. Let's see. Me reading one ecchi manga, ecchi addiction. Okay. And I realize the towel wasn't actually used for drying. What? I don't have time for that. What? Why are these all so bad? Okay. I don't talk with my mouth full. Kidding, I don't talk at all. That's just kind of depressing. You can't just crop porn, that's not a meme. Okay. Goodness gracious. So we could say they're definitely less horny. and okay, they're not less horny, they're less depressed. Valentine's Day was, I think that was a cry for help for this whole subreddit. Grand Blue, Blue Lock, and Blue Period. Okay, I mean, I like Odd Taxi the most. Fucking zodiac signs, which furry anime? Fuck zodiac signs, which furry anime are you? Odd Taxi is pretty good. I haven't seen the other ones though. But I'm thinking about doing Beastars. Anime fandom bad? Fandom dynamics can be a little tricky, but it's sometimes nice to be in a group of people who also like the thing you like. I don't know.
Why the fuck is it called the restroom?
Yeah.
I am fighting for my life in here.
That was also a TikTok thing. Let's see. You just finished Sotsu. Okay. When Axos players call it. That's just kind of homophobic. Okay, let's see. If we're not gonna rate any show below 6 out of 10 anyways, we should start 1 to 5 is better than 1 to 10. 5 to 5 being the best rating we forget. Sorry, that was a strange thing to ask. Nah, I mean, I guess maybe like because a lot of the Mallory reviewers I follow really do, they do give out like 2s and 3s. It's a good shit. Muscular girls. Hell yeah. Okay. When you're unemployed, 25, live to your mom. She wants you to take out the trash. Yes, ma'am. Also, I'd like to ask you for money for alcohol. You hacked the school computers to show. That's not relatable. Why would that be relatable? Careful, he's a hero. Take this because you're awesome. Chalky milk. It's clown makeup. Let the funny commence. Okay. I'm pretty tired. Okay. Okay. I think that's quite enough for today. I've got grad school homework to do, but I want to thank everyone who came and who either I'll leave this up because it is an update stream. It is it's supposed to be there for people who are wondering where I've been and what I'm thinking about right now. But yeah, I'm gonna go try and get some work done. Yeah, look forward to, I'll figure out whatever it is I want to do soon and then look forward to that coming out. Take care.